So
Yeah.
so you before I even ask, you already know what suspension of disbelief is, right? So
Well,
you are
Stop, Gojo.
suspending certain right, you're suspending certain ascertained truths that you've gotten
mm,
over the years of your understanding of physics, math, like all these crazy things, right? And
yep.
you're trying to say that I'll suspend my disbelief in the fact that there's cursed energy, cursed spirits, something like Hanami fucking existing or Gojo existing, but I won't suspend my disbelief in an infinite space being condensed into a finite space. Like
Okay. Cool. We
there's
can't
levels
like.
of there should be a clear threshold, but it
There's no
seems like you're
level of
moving the goalpost
equivocation.
for things that are inconvenient for you.
That's not a level of equivocation that you can apply because we know in these instances that the world in physics are different for these certain things. We have no implications, no
Well,
statements, no
actually, yeah,
nothing
no. We
that
have a lot to say
ever.
that the physics are wrong.
No. There's no evidence
No, there's tons of
or
evidence.
statements.
All the evidence.
Well, you're cutting
There
me
is
off,
so
so you
much
won't let me
evidence,
stay.
it's
There's no
overflowing. Dude, I
evidence,
can't fit all the
statements. No,
evidence in
there's
my pockets.
okay. What I'm saying is that there's no statements that deny this idea of physics being applied.
Wait, are
And
statements the only evidence you'll take?
um,
Don't say yes right now. I'm gonna fuck around if you do.
no,
Yes.
it's not the. There are other pieces of evidence I could take, but statements would be the most like
Okay.
viable in this
Have you ever
instance.
seen someone fly? Just of
Have
their
you
own
ever seen?
natural ability?
No,
Have you
no.
ever seen a YouTube video of
Actually
it?
did a lot
You
of
ever
things.
heard you ever seen a paper describing like how humans would be able to fly?
Yes, actually, I have.
Okay. Would you be able to show these papers, show how
Yeah,
they prove people can fly?
there's a paper on on the basis of Darwinism evolution that implies this idea in the future and how
Okay,
humans
so
can
they
get
can't
to
fly
fly.
right now, is what you're
Not
telling
this
me.
not this current, well, not me per se, but there may be a human out here who could possibly do this. This is in the realm of possibility, of course.
Okay, so that's totally possible, like to
Hmm.
you, right?
That's a
So
plausible thing
someone
to say.
flying for no other reason, because we don't have wings as humans. We can't flap
Well,
our arms nearly
what
fast
do you
enough.
define as a human?
Hold on. So we can't flap our arms fast enough or like
Hmm?
heavily enough with enough force
Mm,
to get airborne, right? So you
I
think
can't, and you
you
can't.
right? Can you show me anyone who can?
Um, hang gliders. People with hang gliders are able to do it. They're technically
No.
humans.
Humans. No planes. No hang
No.
gliders. No getting launched into orbit by Goku.
Um. Uh, what do you define as flying?
Voluntary levitation without
Vo-
assistance.
Voluntary
When I
levitation.
meditate, I levitate.
Okay. The argument I'm making this is that could logically be the basis for humans like me and you. But as you know, like
I actually want to
beat,
say prolonged levitation because I could
take
jump.
take it. Yeah, you have to be prolonged. Like there's pseudo
Yeah,
flight, like something like Luffy has, but that's not flight. Okay, but back
I
to
could
the
jump off a
point.
bridge. I'd be like
But yeah,
falling. I don't know if
yeah,
that's the same to you.
that would
I
still
don't know.
somewhat be
Listen, we,
prolonged.
we don't want to do that.
But anyway,
I don't know. I don't know what James is trying to get at here. Like
Oh my god, why
I'm
don't
trying
you
to
let me?
figure out like where his
Yeah.
suspension of
Okay,
disbelief
okay,
ends.
okay, 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 okay. What I'm
Like
saying is like
I'm more trying to identify your threshold.
take a honeybee here. Like a honeybee has no logical reason as to why it can fly, but it can
That's why
fly.
they're going extinct. That's why they're going extinct. Wait, infamous. Wait, infamous. If you're recording, it has to be a one-on-one.
Yeah. Okay. Take honeybees for example. Honeybees actually don't have any reason they can logically fly, but you can agree a honeybee can fly, correct?
Wait, are they flying?
They are flying. By your definition, they're flying.
No, that sounds like they're getting assistance from something.
What?
Well, by your estimation of like what people should and shouldn't be capable of, like with the Gojo example,
We
you said an
depict this.
infinite space. Wait. You said that this can't be the case, right? Because
Hmm?
we're putting an
Hmm?
infinite mass inside of a finite
Hmm?
space. You're saying also that,
Hmm?
and this is strangely analogous. I don't know why you brought this up here. That honeybees shouldn't be able to fly. That shouldn't be physically possible. So, by your reasoning,
Hmm?
I have to come to the conclusion that they're getting assistance from
Okay.
something that we aren't aware of. Is that not the
Mm,
case, James?
or it could just be
Because
we
you're
have a
saying
vague.
it's not physically possible for them to fly. It shouldn't
By our
it
own
shouldn't be
basis, it
happening.
is. By our own basis, I should say by our
Right. So
basis.
we're at least at the bare minimum we're
Mm,
missing the information that we need of whatever's aiding them in their
mm,
flight. Because obviously it's not
mm.
just their wings. Because you're
Okay.
you're
So
admitting
so
this.
so allow me to make an argument in response here. So with Gojo's thing, and the thing with Gojo is that I think like
Wait, you
the
have to
base.
refute this one before we go to a new argument though.
Hmm? Oh, I'm willing to drop the B thing. All right. So back to the
Alright.
Gojo thing. Let's go back to the Gojo. Let's stay on topic because I feel like honeybees are not the place to go. Okay.
I do like them
So
though.
Same. All right, so back to the thing. You'd agree that like in baseline we had take the presupposition that like our worlds fictional worlds physics run in the same line roughly.
If, wait, between fiction and IRL?
Yeah, unless like contradicted.
Hmm. Like which one?
Let's say so for I'll make it easy for you. All right, so we know gravity exists in JJK, right? It's shown to be existent.
Seems to be some gravity going.
Yeah. So you think you'd assume that it's most likely to be the case that the laws of gravity also apply to gravity, like all the laws of gravity apply. This is the most logical way to run, correct?
Unless you're Gojo.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some base things. Now we also
Wait, wait,
have
wait. Before we skip over that, just to give you a chance to refute that. Like I said, unless you're Gojo, do you have any problem with that? Because I don't want to
no,
leave that
I do
there
have
and rat out later.
I do have a problem with that because
All
like
right, we should probably address that before we go to something else.
Assuming Gojo's like not bound to like of course maybe if he produces enough full actually I don't know is he bound to gravity?
It doesn't seem to be the case, actually.
He's bound to Newton's third law.
We don't even know that because
Um,
we don't see any negative propulsion from his own attacks.
in Reflector, we know that when he is standing, as you know, most common way to produce Newton's third law is through like standing. Is like the reaction produced from the floor onto you and all that, and standing and how weight produces when we stand on ground. And we know Gojo is able to do that at least within a base repellence. Also, we know that like his body is able to like as force is generated as he's moving. We know strides happen, which is another example of Newton's third law. So energy
So do you
does
think
produce as
Gojo
long as
can
standing.
handle his own attacks? Like, let's say he
Um,
uses red. Do you think he can just handle that? Or
well,
like blue?
the
Blue would
force
probably be even better.
Wait, the force produced by red or like the hacks abilities of it?
The basically the hacks abilities, the attract and the repulsion.
I don't know about the hacks abilities, but I know the force produced could possibly be the case.
Okay. I know a thing or two, right? I'll get you a
Mm,
scan.
mm.
Gojo says that part of the reason his ability is so difficult to use is that he himself could affect himself with these things at the very
Ah,
beginning. However, later on, right? Later on, he has
mm,
no trouble with this at all, right?
mm.
Why do you think why do you think later on he has
mm.
no trouble with it? Do
Can
you
we?
think it's because he's gotten so much stronger that he
Mm,
outpaced his own hacks abilities, which should scale with him, right? So
well,
if they start apart, the hacks abilities start out higher than him, and
uh,
they scale along with
can I
him.
provide a
There's no way he should
possibility
be
to you?
one sec. Let me finish the argument real
Go,
quick.
go, go, go.
So his hacks abilities can clearly affect him, meaning
Mm,
that they are probably above him because he can kill himself with his own abilities, right?
mm. All right.
And then his abilities scaled to the same degree, the same speed, they will increase and grow the
Mm,
same rate he does, right? So if his abilities start ahead of his durability and AP
mm,
and they grow at the same rate, they would never catch each other. So
mm.
why do you think his abilities can't hurt him later in the series by the time Yuji
Okay.
and Megami come around? Is it because somehow he's overcome like some do you think he's somehow overcome this like
Oh,
through
okay.
training specifically his body, or do you think it's because
Mm,
he's moved on to like, be able to manipulate these laws like his hacks abilities
all right.
are described to do?
Alright, let me provide a few possibilities to you. Now, of course, as you know that like first off, the idea of them being hurt, this is actually a possibility in real life. As you know, we place limitations on our brain puts limitations on our own body to avoid physical trauma from the recoil of our own fists and things like that. And also, as baseball players are able to hit and swing a bat so hard that the recoil damage actually starts to hurt their tendons and things like that. We know
Hmm.
this is a possibility in real life. You can do this if you overthrow and things like that. That's why we're told not to overthrow punches and shit like that. Now, in this part, and the part that I should be keeping on point here, there's a few possibilities to this. Either he has gained better control of this ability where he's learnt to limit it to the point where he can use it without like a mass amount of recoil which can damage him, or he has learnt to like grow his own body in combination with this and be able to like either way it'll just show that he has better use of his own hacks at this point, which you'd agree is in the realm of possibility, right? You'd agree with this?
No, the two possibilities. So the problems with your
You
possibilities, I'll adjust them to make them fit with the story, right? So
I don't know the story that well.
if he trained his body right, he trains his body to a point that would defy Newton's laws, as you tried to lay out a second ago. Or
Why?
he trained these ability because these laws, right? If he's using the if he's using infinite attraction in blue, if he's using infinite repulsion in red, or if he's using hollow purple, a fusion of two separate infinites, all
Mm.
of these things should rip apart a finite body, and there's no reason to believe he has infinite
Uh,
durability. He's
okay,
admitted as much,
okay,
right?
okay, okay,
Right?
okay, okay.
But the other thing is that he would then also have the possibility of developing his abilities, the ones
Mm,
that are described and shown to defy
mhm,
Newton's laws,
mhm.
to basically defy other parts of it, right? To where he
So,
won't he won't get the equal and opposite reaction of his own
mm,
powers, which makes more sense. Then the reason this
actually,
second one makes more sense is because he's shown in his training to start messing with how these powers work, doing things like identifying which objects are allowed through his barrier or which things should not be affected by his red and blue, right? By
okay,
like by sharpness, by density, or just arbitrarily when he reaches out and like touches Gojo, or not Gojo, Jogo's hand, right, and just says, "I'll let you through the barrier."
okay,
Like it's
okay, okay.
more likely that
I
he's adjusting these abilities that already go against Newton's laws.
would you agree? Would you maybe now here's another possibility that we're providing. Maybe the idea these abilities actually have no basis to self-produce force. Is this a possibility?
Wait, these abilities don't produce force?
No, have nothing to do with body self-produced force. So, for example, like it's not his body actually producing force. It's more the ability and the curse energy itself producing the force without his body exerting it.
Okay. There's there's two problems here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
post a
go
scan for
explain.
you. Okay, so I'm gonna
I'm
post a
asking you.
scan
I
for
don't
you.
know. I don't know any his abilities. I'm trying to like gauge it off you.
No, I got you. I got you. These abilities very much produce force and can. Here's one. All right.
I'm not saying these abilities don't
Here's one.
produce force. I'm asking if he is the producer of said force.
No, no, no. I got you. It's fine.
If it's an
So
exerted thing.
right. So like, hold on. Where's the second one? If you
I've
can look
seen
at the first
this
scan
because
if you want to and try to.
I've done some calcs on this. I know I've seen this thing before.
Okay. So you know that one. Here's another one, and you remember this, right? I'm
No, I
probably gonna
don't
end
know
up
this.
posting three. Okay. So in this one, he's you. How do I put this?
Mm.
So in this one, he's basically not exerting any force himself, right? His ability is literally just he's using he's using red in this one, except he's using red in
Mm.
like in basic fuck you, infamous. He's basically using
Mm.
red in very pinpoint parts of reality in different places, right? His ability is then, producing the force itself, right?
Mm.
Because number one, he can't he doesn't have enough like external limbs to get to all these areas right here, number one. But number
Mm.
two, it's kind of like if you were to, I don't know, if you were to shoot a
Mm.
ki blast, you're not
Yeah.
exerting the force of that ki blast. Or like when Goku throws a spirit bomb, you're not exerting that force, right? You've gathered together energy from the planet and the people, and you kind of tossed it at somebody.
Yeah.
Like you're not exerting the force of a nuclear bomb if you toss it off a plane onto Hiroshima.
Yeah.
If that makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, my question to you then, in simplest terms, is why is it impossible for the idea for him to just learn to like adapt his ability to his own durability basis to keep himself safe?
I'm not saying I said both possibilities are there, and I adjusted them to make them like fit better with the story, right? It's
Mm.
just that this goes against your original like argument of the Newton's laws thing,
I
right?
I'm
Which
just saying. I'm
I know,
just.
but I do want to. The reason I bring this up and the reason I've laid both these out and said they're both fine is because your original thing and the original
Mhm.
problem we had was this weird suspension or non-suspension of disbelief when you started bringing up physics in some areas and not, and
Mm.
then you used Newton's laws
I
to
can
try to
say.
say that since it's not adhering to it,
Mm.
it's fallacious. But in both possibilities that we're talking about now, he's
Mm.
violating those laws.
Well, like, so these are first off, the idea of fallacious based off mistaken belief. I can see why you may think it's fallacious. My reasoning on this, I don't believe it's fallacious only solely due to the fact that I think that like if this is shown to be the case, then this will be our baseline of reasoning. Now, of course, if there's something like, for example, let's just say I take this, then sure, Newton's third law is not needed verse, and it is the contradictor in this. That doesn't contradict all physics; it only contradicts this sole point. It's still the baseline of other points would still be the grade. So, for example,
Well, you don't have to go that far back on it. Like, if you don't want, you could.
No,
if you wanna, if you don't want to backtrack all the way, you can just say like they work a little differently in this verse.
All I'm saying here is that, and my only assertion here point is solely under the idea that, like, so we have some ideas on how matter works in verse, and seemingly similar mass and matter, and how like speed equals power and all that, especially with Black Flash. Black Flash's math is wrong, but like in the ideas of how
I was gonna bring that up.
Math is horrible.
I didn't want to because I was like, I know you haven't read it like
the
50
author.
times
The author
like
self-admittedly admits. No, I know the math. The math thing was the first thing that I saw a problem with. But yeah, the author admits that the math itself is just idiotic. But the idea of like speed equaling power, in that we have some idea on how like force works similarly in the verse as it does in real life. Same with mass. Same with matter itself. We have some ideas that like our baselines are passed on when there's some cursive reason. Like it works very similarly. I think you'd agree to this, correct?
In Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yes.
No, I actually don't think it works.
You don't think matter works in the same
I don't think it works quite the same as basically
I'm not
ours
certain
does.
quite
So like there's
similar realms of ideas.
Okay. Well, are you familiar with the infinity paradoxes?
Which one?
Philosophically, of course.
Okay. Not philosophically.
Okay, so there's supposedly there's a contradiction in the idea of infinity, right? So if you had basically like if you had infinite anything, that's all there would be, right? There wouldn't be room for anything else, right?
I agree.
Because the math doesn't end up working. Like, you get it, right? I don't have to explain further.
There's multiple types of infinities. Like, if we take set theory and shit like that.
Yes, but I'm bringing up the paradox in this case because the reason this one applies to the physical arguments we're making, right, and how like theoretical physics applies is because this part of it would apply to Newton's laws as we're describing them. Like, and then you're also talking about like this finite space containing an infinite mass or infinite energy. This is also a problem, right?
You actually didn't let me assert my argument. That was the thing. I actually have more to say in that instance because it wasn't just that. That on its own is nothing. I actually have one more thing to add on to that.
Okay, but I took exception to that because I believe I'm an infinite Gojo stan. I can't do it.
So I actually now as you know, the author has made a few statements about Gojo's limitless because the definition keeps changing, as you know.
Yeah, I'll post it.
Yeah, the Zeno's paradox is a common one. The idea on force from there's a way on like how it works off like trajectory matter in fucking the Cursed Child arc. There's a few definitions. Now, I think the definitions themselves shouldn't be taken seriously in terms of the word definitions. Only because the author themselves says that the reason that the definitions keep changing is because the author itself doesn't quite understand or know how to word the ability. So therefore, the wording and the ability doesn't work in this instance. So I think the idea and the best idea system we should go off is judge how it's shown to work more than how it's stated to work. Only because the author itself doesn't know how to word it.
Yeah, I actually take them about evenly, right? So if the author comes out and says Goku could destroy a planet, yet I've never seen Goku punch a planet into pieces or vaporize it, am I wrong to assume that, yes, the author intends for this character to be able to destroy a planet? Even though that's a statement, am I wrong to take that statement and say, yeah, this is probably the gospel? I mean, it's his work. He's the author. As far as we're concerned, he's the authority on how strong this character is.
I personally, like, I'm in the middle with that shit because I'm, like, in the middle of, like, Whitebeard shit and shit like that. But, yeah, I can see your argument for this. Now, the reason why I believe this is because you believe you believe there's things you can't, like, you understand, but you have trouble, like, wording. Like, a lot of people have this problem.
No, I'm sure everyone has it.
Yeah. Yes, I think the best way we could do is if they can't word it properly, they can't even explain it properly, I think their statements themselves are proper appropriations of what it actually means, and the best way to like explain it would purely be how it's shown, since they know what it is, they just have trouble wording it. So therefore, the best way to go about this should solely be off it's what it's shown to do more than what it's stated to do, because it keeps changing how it's stated.
No. So the author, so a
Hmm.
statement and so a statement and a feat, and when we're talking manga, they're literally both just expressions of the author at the end of the day. And there's no refuting that,
Hmm.
obviously. Since these are both expressions of the author, and the author statements would be
Hmm.
closer to their original intent because it doesn't go through editors, it doesn't go through publication censoring. So statements from the author are actually better. And since they're both expressions, I can meet you in the middle if I wanted to and say, okay, they're both just expressions. They both have equal
I
value.
I
However,
don't
I'm
think they
not
have
going
equal
to,
value.
right?
I
Well,
don't think
I
they
know
have
I
equal
don't.
value.
I don't either. But I'll give my reasoning. I'll give my
Yeah.
reasoning and tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, again, the closer we get to author intent is the closer we get to how they're meant to be
Mm.
interpreted, right?
Mm.
And your argument, right, by using your reasoning, you're saying this is what these powers are meant to do. This is what they're supposed to be, basically. This is what
I'm
we're
just
supposed
trying
to
to come up with the most
interpret them
likely
as. But however,
interpretation.
we need to. I know you're basically saying, or yeah, sorry, I need water. Anyway, you're prescribing a certain type of interpretation that would be further
Mm.
from author intent, and I'm telling you that we should interpret it how the author tells us because they would be the
Uh,
authority on these characters ultimately. Unless you think that the publication companies and the
mm.
editors are a better authority on these mangas than the authors themselves.
Mm. Okay, here's why I believe you're wrong here in that instance. Okay, the reason I believe you're wrong is your defeater works off the idea that my thing is less consistent in the eyes of the author. Now, the reason is actually I'm appealing to the author in the best way possible because the author can't give a verbal definition. And every definition she's given, or they've given, is changed and then self admittedly unable
Wait,
to word it.
are you telling me that this author has failed to describe this power accurately?
Yes, I'm saying this.
Okay. So if you, how about this? If I make a character and I describe, let's say I make Winnie the Pooh, sequel to Winnie the Pooh, right? And Winnie the Pooh's power is to summon honey into existence simply because he can.
What
And
kind of honey?
you interpret that. No, we're talking premium, untouched, fresh, like less than 30-second old honey straight from the hive, right? Like this is the
Go
shit they give
perfect,
the
no luck.
queen, right? This is the top shelf honey. But what I'm
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying what I'm saying is that Winnie the Two has the power as I've described
Mhm,
it. I've created the
mhm.
character. I'm the ultimate authority on it, and my interpretation of it is obviously the best. I made the fucking character. I get to say,
Okay,
what he can do, right? In this case,
so
Gege did give us an explanation, and even if you think he used
mm,
math wrong, he used
mhm,
the Achilles and the tortoise story,
mhm.
right, to describe his power. Even if he has a wrong understanding of it, we take his understanding of it and his words of it, even if he
I
doesn't fully
disagree.
understand the story, right?
Only because
Because
he defeats his own definition. I disagree
he doesn't,
because
he can, he
he's
totally can. That's fine.
no,
You can
no, no, no,
contradict yourself
no. That's not what
as a
I'm saying.
creative like expressivist, right? If
You're
you
you're
want to express yourself in a contradictory
you're
way,
not
that's
understanding
not
what I mean.
invalid,
You know what
right?
I'm understanding. Okay,
Okay.
I'm fine with him or he, her, or whatever the fucking gender is. I'm fine with them expressing themselves. They can express themselves. Now, when they then say that they don't know how to express it verbally, and then they provide multiple definitions
Gege
that
is
all
a guy, by the way.
is there a guy? I hear
Yeah.
people say 100 things. He expresses himself verbally not once, but twice, but three, but four, but five times, and then gives a different definition five fucking times, and then says that they don't know how to verbally explain, and they don't actually understand the ability properly themselves, but they don't know how to verbally explain it. Then, therefore, I'd say that their definitional
No, that's
use
fine actually.
of the matter
I like
is
that. Let's
actually
run with your. Actually, how about this? I'll I'll steelman your argument. Let's say he has no fucking clue how this works. We should take his interpretation and have no fucking clue how this works.
the what's
We're the
stopping.
closest. That would be the closest thing to the author's intent. The author, as you agreed earlier,
Hmm,
ultimate authority on it. Unless you
hmm.
have an argument for me right now that the publication companies and the
Wouldn't you?
editors are a
Wouldn't you
better
agree?
authority on it.
Wouldn't you agree that the most consistent then route of how it works would be the best way to interpret?
No, closest to author
You
intent.
don't. You don't. You don't value consistency.
In fiction, fuck no.
Why don't
Not.
you value consistency? Why don't you
You're
value
funny.
consistency?
You're
Why
a
don't you value
funny fella.
consistency? I actually
Why
value
would I?
consistency.
If I valued consistency, I couldn't like Minato, I couldn't like Itachi, I couldn't like Goku.
I meant feats.
Fuck,
Consistency
bro,
and feats.
I would hate this.
I mean
What?
consistency. I meant consistency in scaling, not within character development and
I
character
could give a shit
natural
about
development.
consistency
Well,
and scaling.
look. Let me give you an example. Right? So,
And also,
Marvel.
this is another
Marvel
I
fun.
hope you
fun.
realize that you
I
just
know this is
asked
like a
NoLuck to commit to the norm, right?
Okay, no, this isn't the norm.
Don't.
This isn't the
Okay,
norm.
but like,
Okay.
I do want to say as a side note,
Mhm.
most of these authors are not great power scalers, even in very power scaling heavy like fan bases, right? Like Dragon Ball. Toriyama would not be able to scale his own characters. He's failed to a few times.
Yeah, you are correct, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's take something like fucking Marvel, one of the most inconsistent, not just
That's a shout.
not just the most inconsistent in terms of physics, but also one of the most inconsistent things in terms of scaling. Constantly contradictive. I think you could agree to this.
Yeah, I love it.
This is why he annoys me. Okay, back
Well,
to
it's
the
kind of
point.
like Batman and Superman. Like they have different like so Scott Snyder writes Batman differently than
Mm.
like Grant Morrison, and his
Mm.
power fluctuates
Do
like
you-
fucking
but
crazy.
you
But I
understand-
love it, bro. It's awesome.
Do you agree with the idea that outliers and plot and do stupidity exists in fiction?
Do they exist?
Yes.
I don't like saying plot-induced stupidity, but if you want to say
Uh,
like inconsistencies, 'cause I don't want to call authors like stupid. I feel like that's
That's not them calling them stupid. That's them doing something to advance the plot, but not actually gauging anything. It's creating an inconsistency to advance the plot. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah. So you'd agree now that like, so if we have a character that's building level every time, that has one feat that has them destroying 2 countries in a punch, but then is building level every other time, and this is shown, everyone else in this series is shown to be building level. There's nothing to ever say this is completely out of the option of everything else. It even verbatim states that that they can't even destroy a city. You'd agree this country level feat wouldn't be viable, correct?
No, they're both viable.
Why? Why would this be a viable option if everything contradicts?
The author puts this. So both these instances are canon, right?
Yes.
Cool. Hell yeah.
No,
I'll
I
take 'em
think
both.
I think
That's
consistency is a better way to get author intent. Is the author's ideals of
No.
consistency? Why
If
not?
the author himself likes to write inconsistent stories or just does it by accident and that's just their style, bro, I'll take the author intent over consistency.
But you'd
I don't
need
care.
to prove that the author likes to write inconsistent stories, which is never stated within my analogy.
Wait. So is them not writing that way not proof?
Why is a mistake?
Do you think that they're being like held against? Do you think authors are under duress every time they write like an inconsistent story?
That wasn't what I was asserting at all. Actually,
Oh, okay.
What I was asserting was the idea that this inconsistency was an intended inconsistency.
Wait. So are you asking me if they intend to be inconsistent?
For example, I don't think a lot of authors think about the scaling of something when they do it. Correct?
Yeah, I just said that a little bit ago.
Yeah. But I think they also I think it's all within. We're not perfect people, so I think you'd agree. It's also within the idea that like people can make mistakes even if they are trying to stay consistent.
Here, I'll try to. I feel like we're gonna end off on a tangent here. So what's your problem with the inconsistency here?
I think the inconsistency with this, the idea is that like I think inconsistencies provide
Well, actually,
contradictions.
My bad. I should have clarified more. That was my mistake. So what's the thing about this that invalidates Gojo beating the absolute brakes off Itachi?
My idea is that like I don't see why limitless would be something that could stop Itachi from hitting Gojo.
You don't see. Wait, why the barrier would stop him?
Yeah. What thing makes the barrier stopping Itachi? What is it?
Okay, so let's see. Have I told you the 3 main interpretations of how that barrier works?
There's more than 3, but sure, tell me those 3.
I know. I go with the main 3. So the 2 that the author kind of gives. Well, the one that he gives in a statement, one that Gojo gives, and then one that I've heard as a fan theory. The fan theory is that it's just an infinite space, which it's not necessarily like how it works. It's just kind of like the effect of it. You may as well be trying to pass an infinite space, right? The second one that Gojo does is that you're constantly just slowing down until you get to him. So obviously you would just be slowing down forever until you eventually stop. But the author describes this in this weird mathematical philosophical problem, right? With the Achilles and the tortoise example, where basically you could always reduce the distance, you could always cut it in half, but you would never reach, like Achilles would never reach the tortoise. Even if you were faster than him, the distance would not the distance would never like fully reach 0. It's kind of like if you took 10 and you infinitely cut that number in half forever, you would never reach 0. Like you can put this into a calculator, you can Google it right now if you want to. I can show you what the calc looks like. It ends in either 0, or there's a mathematician from India that claims that if you do this infinite reduction, it comes out to negative 1/12, which would actually move you away if you're talking about, range and movement, right? So either you stop or you move back whatever 1/12 calculates to in his, I don't even know how he got to that number.
Yeah,
So
I don't understand.
in all three, I know, but real quick, I know this one's a long explanation, but I had to go through all 3 interpretations of his barrier. So in all 3 of these, if it's an infinite distance, Itachi's chakra, which he needs to inject into him for Genjutsu, never reaches him. Totsuka Blade never does. Nothing Itachi ever uses has infinite range. If it's the tortoise if it's Achilles in the tortoise interpretation, same problem. It's the distance always being cut in half. It would never reach Gojo, right? Or it would move back because of the Indian mathematician's 1/12 fucking calculation out of nowhere. Or it slows down infinitely until it stops, which means the Totsuka Blade would eventually stop, the Genjutsu chakra would eventually stop before it gets injected into Gojo, and that's even before we talk about if Itachi's familiar with cursed energy enough to manipulate it for Genjutsu.
Okay. So basically, you'd agree. So here's my thing about it. So of course, this doesn't stop everything. Like it doesn't stop physical. So you'd agree that the limitless doesn't stop everything. Like for example, Gojo can breathe, air comes to it, and everything. It only stops physical things, right?
It only allows things to pass that he wants to pass.
What do you mean by that?
So, like, there's an example of even a young Gojo, right, where he can decide what things he wants to pass, like his barrier or not. They throw a pen and they throw an eraser at him. He intentionally allows the eraser through because it's harmless. However, Geto throws the pen. Geto's a really strong guy. He throws the pen at him, and he doesn't allow the pen through because the pen specifically could harm him, right? Like, another example, when he fights Jogo, and he shows Jogo his ability. He's like, look, try to touch my hand. And Gojo tries, and he's like, I can't reach it. And then Gojo's like, yeah, see? Now I can turn it off and let you in, and we can hold hands like this. And then he holds his hand, and then beats the shit out of him.
How can this ability stop non-physical things?
Non-physical things? So things like his... Right. So things like... It seems to stop damn near everything. So cursed energy can't reach him. We see this in a few fights. Fire can't reach him. Plasma can't reach him. And domain expansions, which are raw cursed energy, can reach him if somebody is like... Actually, no, because he counters it with his limitless. So not even raw cursed energy in a domain expansion can hit him. Because
of this
cursed...
Can you show me this?
Yeah. Here, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Shit, I've never thought about this.
Wait, which are you talking about? The domain expansion? Do you want me to go through each example?
I just need proof non-physical things can stop.
Non-physical? Okay, so what are you going to describe? Like, are you thinking mental? Are you thinking light? Are you thinking... What are you thinking here?
Light would be a good one. Yeah, light.
Light is partially physical, so...
Light isn't partially physical. No, it isn't. It holds no mass, therefore it's not physical. Light
particles have mass.
Mass is the... No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Photons are massless. Like, that's the reason photons move so fast. It also is the reason they can't bend past 8 degrees without refraction. With refraction, and without refraction, it can't bend at all. So actually, yeah, no, that's impossible.
Let's see.
Look at my screen.
Yes, I like your bunny ears thing. Thank you.
Alright, let's get back to it. Shit, you're giving me a roller coaster. You're making me have to think. I'm actually having fun. I haven't been able to debate anyone like this in a long time.
No, it's okay, bro. Hold on. I gotta go through I'll go to the chapter.
You're gonna have some trouble fighting me. Stop light.
I know. I'm trying to find both these things for you. Hold on.
This is a new accomplishment for me, guys. I stumped him for once.
You did not stump me. I have to find these things because you want
like,
scans.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. Everybody's always trying to get something on me. I see you.
I'm playing. Alright? I'm
Mhm.
playing. I'm fully aware that if you really want to finish this by now.
Nah, you got to give yourself more credit. Let me see. So
Nah, bro.
I'll go to the Viz translation
I
since
saw
they're the
I saw
official
Seth's
licensed
tier list.
publication.
I'm like the
or
worst
publisher.
debater on it. I saw
What's
that
up?
shit. I saw Seth's tier list. I'm like the worst debater on it, bro.
And bro, don't worry about other people's tier lists. Like, it's not important.
At least I could put higher than Monlam and Sende. Jeez. But
What's up?
nah, I just like we just got shown the tier list. Okay. That's a thing.
Yeah, don't worry about that shit, man.
Nah, it's fine. Shit. Putting me through the ringer right now.
Putting you through the ringer. I was doing shit and I'm tired.
I'm tired too. It's almost 8 p.m.
You say 8 p.m. I had to hit you.
It's like 6 a.m. for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost 6 a.m.
Shit.
So,
you could just get seed. Actually, no, I don't want you to concede. That'd be too. I want to actually, lose for once.
okay. So here we go. So in this scan, he uses his jujitsu technique, which, again, is just his barrier because he hasn't. He hasn't used the.
Why would jujitsu technique mean the barrier itself?
Because it's the only one he uses without performing any of his hand signs.
Ah, really? Thank you for that, because I actually didn't know how to prove that.
Here you go.
Okay.
But no worries. There are counters. So hold on. I'm explaining. So he gives a nice little illustration, right? He says, "But no worries, there are counters. Hit it with jujitsu like I did." He then goes on to tell Yuji, "I don't recommend this, but you can also run away. Almost impossible, right?" So the problem here is that domain expansions generally are very, very strong to keep people in, but the inverse of that is they're very easy to get into. Someone like Yuji, who was very inexperienced and fatigued at the time, can break into a domain and you can't break out. That's just a side note, right?
Okay.
So
this doesn't explain to me how light.
Okay, because a domain expansion, number one, is supposed to be a guaranteed hit no matter what. I can get you that scan too. That's the whole point of the domain expansions.
If you have a
And number
shield,
two,
it won't hit anything but the shield, would it?
Yes. It would. Well, no, it should still hit you because you can guard yourself, but it doesn't matter. You'll still be hit. It's kind of like there's a good example of this. So you can guard yourself by focusing your cursed energy in certain places, and it acts as a shield. We see this with Toto, where Toto actually gets hit in the stomach. No, wait. Toto gets hit in the stomach either by Hanami or Mahito, and he uses cursed energy sealed in his stomach as a barrier. Gojo's barrier.
Attacks, so.
I know. Gojo's barrier, on the other hand, is the only one we've ever seen to block not only the domain expansion, but also, well, the domain expansion is the important part because the domain expansion is just raw cursed energy, right? And it's just trapping you in a void of cursed energy. However, it still cannot reach Gojo. We know this because it's raw, right? We know this because it's not a guaranteed hit while he's in it, which means he can't be in the domain expansion insofar as that it's past his barrier. It can surround his barrier, but it's not passing it for whatever reason.
Okay, this is weird to me. Okay, you still haven't given me this, and I need it. So why does this provide the idea that non-physical things are stopped by the barrier?
Because cursed energy is a non-physical energy.
I'm gonna need proof that domain expansions are definitely.
Wait, hold on. I got you. In fact, that one I just saw when I was getting this one.
You're definitely going to need to prove to me why fucking domain expansion is the thing that I've literally showed to be physical. You literally break into.
You can have
right.
You can have physical parts of it. Like, let's say.
Okay, so I can reject.
What's a good example? You can project physical things into it, but it's. I don't know. It's the domain itself, the barrier around it, the actual dimension you create. It's all just made of raw, cursed energy. When the cursed energy attaches to you, right? That's what makes it.
You just proved it's physical.
No, it has physical projections in it.
Dimension provides physicality.
Right. You can create a dimension out of raw cursed energy. You can create nothing. hold on. You can create something out of nothing in Jujutsu Kaisen. Gojo does this 2 panels before
You
this.
can create something out of nothing in real life.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we're talking about the laws of energy and matter conservation.
The first law of non-conservation was disproven in terms of quantum mechanics. In terms of the quantum level.
Please show me.
It was debunked 50 years ago. I can get that out.
No, it wasn't. No,
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Show me. Show me right now. Actually, you know what? Just create something. You're on stream. Create something out of nothing. Or
just
provide,
because I
provide
can't. Just because. Wait. Just because I can't do this doesn't mean it's impossible to do this.
Okay. Have you seen someone do it?
Why does that? I can get a video of it. 1 second.
Okay. You're gonna show me a video of somebody making something out of nothing.
Yeah, actually, I'm being 100%. It actually was debunked.
If you show me a video of that right now, I will concede right now. Show me a video of somebody making something out of nothing. I will concede right now, James.
So the law of.
No. I want the video now. I'm so agitated that you just said that.
What?
That you said that people can make something out of nothing, and you saw a video of it.
No. We can't view it. What I'm saying, so no, like the whole point of it is that.
Okay, so there's no video on this. Like,
oh my God,
just so
you
we're clear.
Want to let me finish?
Well, look, it's recorded. I don't want everyone going and thinking that this is like a thing.
Okay,
I don't want to spread that kind of misinformation.
No. It actually, so it works in terms of chemistry, but it doesn't work on a quantum level. On a quantum level, it's actually proven to be not be the case. I can get it out.
Okay, says who?
On the face of things, we observe every day sparks that create a fire which generates heat mass. Yeah, battery produces power. 1 second. First
also,
yeah,
just so we're all clear for everybody in chat, quantum physics and quantum mechanics are actually purely theoretical until proven otherwise. That's why this is still a quantum physics topic when you're talking about energy or matter creation and destruction, right? So for everyone in call that doesn't know, the reason that this is still classified as quantum physics is because it's theoretical, which means it has not been proven. But I'm gonna let James show me whatever evidence he has.
Yeah, alright, so which actually was stored. It actually genuinely was. I was reading a paper on it today. I'm trying to find it. Topic.
James, I'm gonna start yelling "Burden of Rejoinder."
You better not. I've still got a few minutes.
I will screech it.
Bro, I don't want to have to drop this. It's actually.
Dude, you're gonna have to drop this point. I'm sorry. One way or another. Okay, so I'll spoil how this goes. Wait 1 second, Arthur. Okay, so we're just talking Itachi versus Gojo to answer your question, but just let us finish real quick. Okay, so James, I'm gonna spoil this for you. Any paper you give me is going to be listed as a theoretical paper. Since this cannot be proven and it's not the scientific consensus, I can't take it as fact, right? In this case, I would then start equivocating our opinions and our understandings to those of
I'm dropping it. Don't want anything to do with it. I'm dropping it. All right, back to the point.
I knew that was going to frustrate you, so I was going to let you know now.
No, you're doing the thing I do on other people. I don't like it. Now,
what did I do?
Fucking the whole tell me how the debate's going to go before it goes. My thing. Don't take it from me.
I told you what I was going to do.
Yeah, and you told me where the trajectory was. It's fucking demeaning as fuck. Shush.
Anyway, is not demeaning.
Back to the point. Okay, so you saying that creates a dimension implies mass solely due to the fact that dimension would be referring, I'm guessing it's referring to spatial coordinates, since it holds people inside it. Therefore, matter is in there, therefore mass is proven. So, you debunked yourself and defeated your own argument.
So how did I... Wait, I defeated myself in what? I was reading a message.
You said it creates a dimension, and therefore the dimension, which if you don't know, a dimension would be referring to spatial coordinates, since it's not a temporal realm, implies the idea...
These would be temporal realms too. Like, So
but
let's
it would
look at,
have matter in it. Like it'd be spatial.
does matter necessarily exclude or preclude like
Are you saying
temporal
Are you saying
regions?
these
Like,
characters are
what are you
abstractial?
doing
These
here?
characters are physical characters. They're not abstractial. Calm down.
Well, these ideas are actually abstract.
No.
Yeah, these characters are actually
You're
abstract
ratty as hell.
until they're brought into the manga. Is that wrong?
No, you're
I know it's not
ratty.
wrong. I don't know why I asked.
Shush, stop talking. What
What-
I'm saying is,
What did I do?
what I'm saying is, you're not, you're being ultra technical for no reason. I mean, for example, Yuji, when he's in the story, is a physical character in the standpoint of the story, correct? He's not abstractial.
I'm sorry, I was really distracted by the way you were holding your mic like right to your face. I was like,
You're
damn,
pissing
this man's
me
going
off.
in. Bro,
Okay.
James.
Okay, back
I
to
do
the
like the
point.
mic.
Alright. What I'm saying pretty much is that due to the fact that Yuji is an actual physical character within the characters series, from the character series of the point of view, this would actually be that he's physical. He's physical within this series' point of view. I know he's technically a 2D character in a book, but in realism, from the point of view of the series, he's physical and not an abstractial idea. So what I am saying is, by this logic, they are put into a physical realm that holds space. It's not just a solely temporal realm. So, in conclusion, matter is
So
also there within the space.
you admit it's at least partially temporal then.
That's not what I said. Oh my! I meant it wasn't a solely temporal realm. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't
Okay.
get mad at you. My mistake. I apologize.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay. So again, are
Yes.
you thinking? Are you trying to say that because it's not only temporal that it's like I don't know? Does energy not exist there? What are you getting at here?
You're trying to, because there's a dimension that proves that it's physical. So therefore, this sort of idea is physical. Therefore, it's not defeated to my argument in my assertion
James.
that it possibly.
Okay, James, I'm gonna. Okay. Do you think energy exists within dimensions?
If where there's space, it would have to be energy.
Okay.
Oh, there has to
So-
be matter. So yeah, energy.
Okay. Okay. So just. Well, I think you're gonna see where I'm going with this. So
I already know where you're going with this.
fact
I don't
that-
like it.
the fact that it's a dimension does not mean that energy doesn't exist there, correct?
I didn't say it doesn't exist.
So then why are you saying that there is no energy that Gojo's blocking here?
That's
Why
not what I
why is that how is that your
said.
point here?
That's not what I said. What I'm saying.
Well, you did. Okay, do you remember my original thing? I was saying that
Alright.
Gojo's barrier is blocking cursed energy, which is non-physical.
I'm
And then you went
saying
on this
it's
point about how it's a
physical.
dimension and how obviously that
It's
somehow
blocking
means
the
that he's not
domain.
blocking.
It's
energy.
blocking the domain expansion, which is a physical form of curse energy. Even if it's at its rawest form, in this instance, its rawest form in the domain expansion is physical. So therefore, it's
actually
blocking
not
the
true.
physicality of it.
So
Can you come up with
the
that disproves
domain
my
itself. So the no. So the
I'm an ace game for
the
this.
dismain. Wow. So the domain expansion is just raw cursed energy in and of itself. So here's a great
it's
example
physical.
for you, and I'll send you the fight. There's like what's that thing? The finger bearer that we were talking about. His second fight with Megami. Megami actually activates his domain expansion. There's pretty much nothing physical you can see until he starts projecting his what are they called? Shikigami,
That
right?
That could be
Same
something.
thing with Sukuna, right? Same thing with Sukuna though. Sukuna, there's nothing physical you can see aside from the remains of his cuts. I don't know if you're at the Shibuya incident, so I won't spoil too much of it, but there's nothing
That's
physical you
fine.
can see. It's just his energy is projected over a large area, approximately 200 meters, right? He even describes it this way. So these domain expansions are purely cursed energy by their users' explanations and as they're demonstrated, both the piece of evidence you want to use, right? So in this case, they're only projecting their cursed energy in a certain way to create this domain expansion. And they can project, physical properties. They can project like weird, like in Gojo's case, he's projecting information somehow. His domain expansion is basically like showing you infinite, limitless information, which just fucking stalls your brain out.
Okay.
So you can project things, but these domains themselves are just raw energy.
Okay.
Which I already showed you Gojo
something I'm
blocking.
going to ask this. Would you agree it's within the realm of possibility that it could be just solely a curse energy based thing that he repels and not all non-physical things? Like, for example, I said light and you said you would show me something for light, which you've never shown. So you dropping the light point?
Wait, I'm sorry. What point?
You said I asked you to show me light. You agreed to show me Never showed me anything.
Wait, I thought we were talking about like they had mass or something. Do you want me to say like light particles don't have mass?
No, you said I wanted something to because you said you'd show me a time where he stopped light reaching his limitless, breaking through
From
limitless.
reaching his limitless.
Breaking his limitless and touching him and not touching him.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be on that point. My argument for that would just be there's no reason for him to do that. Like
so wait, so
the light's not a threat to him, so he wouldn't keep it.
So he
wouldn't keep it outside his barrier. So no, I don't think we ever did that point.
So it's a divisional choice.
Wait. So if you want the things don't have weight, I'm sure that they don't. I just don't care to look it up. I'll give you
no.
Light particles don't have weight. I don't.
They definitely don't.
Sure.
No, that's not. Oh, so you mean
I'll give you that.
It's a divisional choice, meaning he has to choose whether or not it reaches.
Wait, are you asking if he chooses what reaches him, what breaches his barrier or not?
Does he have to choose whether something blocks it?
Does he have to? He has to choose. No, you got it backwards. He has to choose to let things in.
Why?
It's a passive barrier.
The passive. So did he choose light?
Obviously, he chose light at some point.
Can you show
like
me
food.
Where
he clearly has to choose food because we've seen him eat, and he's human to some degree, so he has to eat. Like, also, he has to let in and out his poops. So he lets in and out poop. What's another good one? He lets in Jogo to like hold hands with him in that cute little moment.
Okay.
Let's see. He lets through an eraser, but everything else he doesn't say like, oh, I'm going to keep these things out. It's a passive barrier, and he has to not activate it. He has to deactivate it for certain registered things whenever he wants to. So you have it backwards. He doesn't have to choose what to keep out. He has to choose what to let in.
Okay. I can see this being the case. Okay. So again, this doesn't
James, you don't have to concede. I know that face.
No, I'm just trying to think of an argument.
Okay.
So, in commencing this debate. Okay. So, my question to you then is, do we know this is the case for everything? So the barrier stops everything and anything.
Like a no limits fallacy, or are you asking me if like it just passively stops everything that he doesn't let in within its own capability? Because like if Goku punched it, obviously Goku gets through.
Well, I'm asking what are the capabilities?
Do you want me to further expand? Okay. I feel like we've kind of gone at that ad nauseum. As far as the debate goes, like we can let it lay, because I went through all three. I gave you all three interpretations of it. Explained why Itachi can't get through any of them. I also explained how he controls it.
What's stopping Itachi from what's stopping the fuck? Alright. This is gonna be really ratty from my instance. What's stopping
Itachi
Blade
from falling in love with Gojo? Absolutely nothing. He's fine as hell.
What's stopping Itachi from sealing away the Limitless itself?
Sealing away Limitless? Have you ever heard of the Totsuka Blade sealing something that's limitless?
It says it seals anything. It says it seals anything it touches.
So, do you think that thing could seal True Form Dark Side? Do you think it could seal the author?
What's stopping it from doing this?
A no limits fallacy.
Why is this a no limits fallacy?
You're familiar with because you've used it. Okay.
Why is this a no limits fallacy?
Well, this is textbook no limits fallacy actually. So this is not only a no limits fallacy. This is like you're gonna move into an argument from ignorance. You're gonna say, well, we've never seen it fail to do those things, which is my argument, by the way. No. But again, can you argue right now that the Totsuka Blade can seal the author?
Okay. What I'm saying is that the no limits fallacy. So no limits fallacy devises the idea because it has no stated or showing limits. It therefore has no. It's stated to do it on anything, so therefore that is not no limit. That's
actually still a no limits fallacy.
No, it isn't because that's a statement.
Wait. So
now, of course, there's bounds.
Wait. Hold on.
So
I'm gonna hit you with a fact.
You didn't let me finish this. You didn't let me finish.
Okay, go. No, I can't let you finish.
No, let me finish. No, let me finish. No,
I've been ruffled.
This is a divisional thing. Because there's I was about
You're
to
yanking my
agree to
chain.
you, but you seem
You're
to not want to
yanking my
let me
chain.
speak.
No,
So
you
what
don't
I'm
get
saying
to agree.
is,
Concession denied. No agreements.
no.
No agreements here. Concession denied. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
number one.
Yeah.
In Dragon Ball, you have probably not billions, a ton of examples of like Goku and Vegeta saying Saiyans have no limits. Okay, so if I take that,
That's a
that means that
statement-
they can beat every single fictional character, right?
That's solely contradictive. Okay, so the reason
Well,
why this
so
is
is the Totsuka Blade.
disanalogous. No. The reason why this is disanalogous is because it has contradictive facts
Oh, please,
within the
tell me
series that
those.
disprove this. Give me an example.
How about the Saiyan one?
Which one?
When Vegeta and Goku have said that Saiyans have no limits.
Saiyans have no limits. That's in terms of no limits.
You can say it's true. I'm on board.
Huh?
What? You can say that that's true, and I'm on board. I think they're both omnipotent.
Okay. So what I'm saying is very simply is that in terms of they have no limits in capability they can do, we know this isn't the case. For example, they can't breathe in space. They state this. So that's debunks the idea that they have zero limitations in terms of that idea. So that is a debunkable fact. That's a debunking factor. So therefore, there is factual debunks that make this therefore disanalogous.
Okay. So the Totsuka Blade can cut through anything, right?
It can seal anything it touches.
So why didn't it seal Itachi and his Susanoo that were clearly touching it?
What do you mean?
They were touching the Totsuka Blade, and it didn't seal them for some reason. But it can seal anything?
Well, Itachi was touching the Totsuka Blade.
His Susanoo was. Why wasn't his Susanoo sealed?
What prove Itachi's touching the Susanoo?
No. Just his Susanoo. His Susanoo is holding and wielding the blade. How about this? Just tell me why. Tell me why the Susanoo is not sealed by the Totsuka
this is why
Blade.
you let me finish sentences.
Go ahead, finish. Fix this. Dig yourself out of this hole.
I'll dig myself out of this, right? So, of course, there's limitations to what the division of anything is. Is anything within the capability shown, or what? There's anything within the
Susanoo falls in
capabilities
anything.
of what falls in possibilities. So, of course, there is
So does
ideal...
Susanoo fall in anything?
No luck. Let me finish. So,
Does Susanoo fall in everything?
no luck.
Or in
Let
anything?
me finish. All right.
Does Susanoo fall in
I am
anything?
not godless girl. Stop cutting me off. Okay.
I'm not cutting you off. I actually am. I'll stop.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm saying is, very simply, is that like there's different uses. Like it's not going to cause paradoxical infinites because as it seals itself, it will create a paradox of sealing one sealing that's already been sealed, and therefore will become a paradox of sealings. Now, so like this is not like the idea that we're going to jump into here. So of course there is limitations to what can seal, but like for example, let's just say like you can't. Okay.
What did I do?
I see your name. I see
No, you
your
don't.
name.
You don't see
You
that.
can't even spell it right.
Leave me alone. It's spelled right.
No, it's not. No, it's
Susanoo
not.
only has. Look, it's spelled right.
Google Susanoo.
You think I'm playing?
And then I want you to fucking say sorry.
Yep, I have it right here.
You're dumb as dog shit.
Yep, I have it in the manga.
Oh my god, don't actually make me. Oh my
Yep.
god, it's 2 O's.
Bro, what are you talking about? It has 2 O's.
You didn't have 2 O's. I'm gonna kill you. You
It
died.
has 2
tonight.
O's.
You died tonight. Okay, okay. Back to this. Alright, now we're playing. Now I'm playing. I ain't playing any. Okay, so back to this.
Are you playing or are you
long-ass-
not playing?
Stop fucking confusing me.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, back to the point. Okay, so I'd say realistically, there's certain things. For example, like the blade itself. Technically, he's not like you're providing the idea like something's touching something that's touching something. This isn't the case. By that example, like you'd be providing certain divisional factors and results like if Hulk picks up Thor and he's holding the hammer, therefore. Okay. This is why divisional factors are needed, and that's why we actually have to use defining factors of context. So Itachi isn't touching the blade. The blade is touching the handle. It's touching the hand of the Susanoo. That's touching it. In the body, that's touching Itachi more than. So this is that's
so
what
can
defining
the
factors.
Susanoo... Okay, so not the Susanoo. So you're saying because the Totsuka Blade is touching the hilt of the blade, which is touching the handle, the Susanoo touching the handle is fine.
Yes.
Why doesn't the Totsuka just seal its hilt and handle? Those fall in anything.
Actually, while I'm at it, let's do it by this then. Prove the Susanoo is touching the blade.
Can I get an answer to that though?
Prove Itachi touching the blade.
Wait. Hold on. Maybe you missed the question. Why doesn't the Totsuka Blade seal its own hilt and handle if it can seal anything?
Prove it's touching the hilt.
Wait, so what's it attached to?
Actually, you agree the blade doesn't seal itself, correct?
No, itself is anything. When you say anything, I expect you to mean anything.
You know I was taking it from a connotative definition, not a denotative.
Come to think of it, why isn't it sealing the air? Why didn't they all just suffocate?
It was sealing the air.
Can you show this? Was it stated?
Remember how Itachi
Did you
was
see
like,
air disappearing?
Remember how Itachi was coughing up blood?
Come to think of it, if it seals anything it touches, why didn't it seal Orochimaru's hybrid Hydra immediately when he started cutting off the heads?
It did.
No, he cut off a bunch of their heads. Obviously, the Totsuka touched them, but it didn't seal the Hydra. He cut off a bunch of their heads touching them.
Yeah.
Why didn't it seal them?
I'm seeing the problem with my own argument now.
This is extremely strange. Now that I'm thinking about this.
The fuck, cunt. Okay, I concede. You're a dick. Oh.
What? Why am I a dick? I will say, I was definitely ratting with a lot of the scaling that I didn't remember because I'm tired. Okay, we can end the recording. I think Infamous has it.
No, Infamous isn't here.
It's gonna go to Infamous because he started the recording.
Yeah, the Craig bot.
How do I get it to leave? Go away, Craig.
Okay, so I can find this Craig. Fuck, that was long. Jesus Christ, you made me get confused.
That was a good attempt, Ryu.
I'm getting closer.
You are getting closer. You were... I don't know. You were pressing. You were pressing, James. Let's go.
Infamous, wake up.
Infamous left the call. I'm actually pissed.
Oh, wait, there's a way I can stop the recording.